Hi, I am Becca from The Clever Teacher, and in this video, I will show you how easy it is to set up your long-range plan for next year. What you will need is first access to this template, and second, your academic calendar for your school for next year. Okay, the first thing you want to do is make a copy. So you go to File, Make a Copy, and then rename it to whatever you would like. This is already a copy. The next thing is I would delete this text, and I want to show you the parts of this template. Along the top, you can add the different subjects that you teach, and then the column on the far left is for adding all of your school dates. If you go to the very bottom, you'll see a few tabs where I have examples of long-range templates. You can delete those after you take a look at them. It's just to give you ideas. Okay, so I am gonna base this one off of Mesa Public Schools in Arizona because that's one of the districts where I taught. So first I'm gonna add all of my dates. So underneath dates, I'm gonna click Command Return so that I enter still in the same cell and just write week of. And then I will add all of my dates. One thing that I like to do is add an asterisk if it is less than a 5-day week. So if it's a 2-day week, 3-day week, just so that I know when I'm planning that I'm not gonna have as many lessons. So I already went through and looked at all of these just to save us some time. Okay. It's kind of crazy how many weeks are not full weeks. All right, the next thing I want to do is add in my school breaks. So in Arizona, in the district I taught in, the first school break was right here, right above week 11. So the way you add another row is you left click and then you click insert one row above. Next, I like to merge this entire row because I feel like it looks way more clean. So the merge button is up here. And then finally, I'm gonna type fall break. Okay, I am gonna do the same thing for Thanksgiving break. So again, I'm gonna click on the cell below where I want the new row to be. Left click, insert one row above. Merge, and then this is my Thanksgiving break. I'm gonna add winter break using the same steps. And then finally, I will add the dates for my spring break. Okay, next, it's important to block off time for things that you know you will have, like the beginning of the year teaching routines, testing, any end of year projects or programs. Anytime you know that you're not teaching your regular curriculum. So for example, the first week of school for us is only 2 days. So I'm gonna add, this week will just be routines, procedures, and relationship building. I also like to do my intro to US history unit, which is 2 weeks long here because it gets kids so excited about the beginning of the year, learning history, and it answers that question, why do we even learn history? That is a 2-week unit. So in order to make this 2 weeks, I'm gonna select both of these rows and then merge them just so it looks nice and clean. Okay, other things you might want to consider adding is your state testing. So for us, it's usually in April. I'm gonna merge these 2 rows and add state testing. And then finally, any end of year programs or activities. So the last week of school, I'm just gonna write last week of school activities. And then around here, we're gonna do our end of year project. Okay, the final step is I want you to go through and count how many weeks of instructional time you actually have. So for me, it's gonna start here on week 4, and I'm gonna go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count the weeks. I went through and I have 31 weeks. So when you finish this step, I want you to comment down below how many full weeks of teaching time you have for next year. And in the next video, I'm gonna show you how I look at my state standards and organize the units I'm gonna teach.